the Enoch book, because he is not in the Bible that most of us. Do you? Who were the fallen bloods, the giants? And what is the role of Enoch in all this? Today, let's reveal together the mysteries of the Book of Enoch. First, what exactly is the Enoch book? He is an old Jewish religious text, traditionally allocated to Enoch, Noah's beverage, although a bookized apocryphal for the majority of churches, Christian, and for Rabbin Judge. He has a place of honor in the Bible of the Orthodox Church. The book is of views and revealings that up. Prophecies I would have received directly from God and the angels. Today he describes the structure of heaven, the nature of angers and demons, and the future of advertising, from the beginning of times to the final judgment. The most famous part of the book, no doubt, it's the history of vigilance, or Grigory. Second to the text, a group of 12 years, leaded by a called look, down to earth no Monte Hermon. They were captivated by the beauty of women, and they a package to take wives between them. This profane union between angels and humans is described as the ingrate, transgress that corrupted the earth. These angels were not just related to women, but they also teached this forbidden ledge. He also teach the women the use of cosmetics and jewelry, what the book destroys, like an incense, vanity, and promiscuity. Other angels taught sorcery, astrology, ledge of the clouds, and of the earth. In essence, they gave advertisings that, without dewlage and maturity, brought corruption, violence, and the abandonation of the roads of God. The earth, that before it was pure, fell with blood and iniquity. The most shocking result of this union were the descendants, Nephilims. They were giant, described as beings of strength and size. Discomonse, with an insatiable appearance. The Enoch book paints a gloomy ball. After consuming all resources, the giants turned against them. Devouring people, they also started sinning against the birds, animals, and fish, causing an unbalance and terror in all creation. The earth screamed, and the clamor of the justy reached heaven. Request for divine intervention. This is where you pick up. Entering the dinner more prominently. He was a right man who walked with God, as it says Genesis. Because of your reticence, he was chosen to be the intermediary. The judgment writing. God challenged him to go to the fallen ages and announce the terrible sanction that awaited you. They would have no peace or forgiveness. They would be trapped in dark valves of the earth until the day of the great judgment, when they were thrown in fire. Your women would be transformed in sirens, and your children, the giants, would destroy and bass against each other. Enoch. So it's on a spectacular celestial day, guided by the Uriel archangels, Raphael, Gabriel, and Miguel. He travels through 7 heaven. Every sky reveals a different aspect of the cosmics and the divine plane. He sees the punishing places of fallen ages, the mournings of the souls of the justice, waiting for the resurrection, and even see the secrets of creation, like snow deposits, granizo and rain, and the movements of the sun, of the moon and the stars. This cosmic jewel is one of the richest parts, and details from the book, offering a cosmology, influenced many posterior traditions. During your day, Enoch reaches the throne of God. The throne is of crystal, with fire wheels, and from it emanate rivers of flame. The presence of the great glory is so int that Enoch falls with the roast on the G, but is raised by an angel to receive more revealings. He learns man's son, a messianic figure that exists before the creation of the world, and who will come to judge the live and the dead, reunite with justice, and bring a new era of peace. Many studios see clear parallels between this figure, and it lets us to a fundamental and the of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. Because the Enoch book is not in the Bible, the answer is complex and have the truth with the canonization processes of the writings. In the centuries of Christianism, the Enoch book was well read and respected. The authors, they title and they cited him. The Epistle of Jews in the New Testament itself makes a direct reference to a profession of Enoch on the coming of the Lord with his saints. I chose that, not minimum. The book wasn't ended for the primitive Kritish community. ever with time. Debates about which book should be considered divinely inspired. Some factors that weighed against Enoch were his authority in Serta and his essay, highly tastic and detailed. Why some church leaders excessively, or even dangerous. Also that the intensive focus on angelology and cosmology, I could devil attention. From the central message of the Gol Kapir, back in the 4th century, with the formalization of the Bible canon, the Enoch book has been left out. In most Western traditions, and Oriental, with the notable exception of Ethiopia, where he has always been an integrant part of the writings. Despite not being in the canon of the majority, the influence of the Enoch book is innegable. Your ideas fallen nices, demons. The messages, the resurrection and the final judgment, premiered the Judaic thought of the Second Temple and primitive Christianism. Many concepts that today we associate with Christian theology, like the hierarchy of the angelos and the idea of a fire el, has its roots or more parallels in Enoch explices than anywhere else in the Old Testament. He fills the lacunas left by texts like Genesis 6, offering an expanded and detailed narrative, who tried to explain the of evil and of suffering in the world. The book finishes with an Enoch transmitting all this sledge to his son Nephilim, instructing you to preserve writings for futures, especially for the elected and justious who will live on tribulation day. This is a message of hope and warning. The history of fallen and giants serves as a powerful alert on the consequences of disobedience and the mixture of the sacred with the profane, and at the same time, Enoch's views on the final judgment and the kingdom of months offer the promise that, in the end, justice will prevail, and God will restore thee in his creation. So next time you read the children of God and the Nephilims in Genesis, remember that there is a whole tradition backside. These few see an epic history preserved in the Book of Enoch. Be a crowd, ascetic or just a curious. It's impossible not to be impressed with grandiosity and the complexity of this old text. Today he invites us to look at him sky, in this of an evil, and reflecting on our own place in the vast cosmos. Thank you for accompanying me on this fascinating day by the mysteries of the Enoch book. What do you think? This story surprised you? Leave your opinion in the comments. I would love to what you think. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming content.